Welcome to the next part of Maths Physics Chapter 1. Maths Physics Chapter 1, Electricity, and this part is known as combination of resistors. In the last part, we studied about Ohm's law, which gave us a very important relationship between potential difference and current, and the introduction to the quantity which is known as resistance. And then we studied more about resistance and the experimental verification of Ohm's law and the factors on which resistance of a conductor depends. And we concluded upon a very important quantity called resistivity, right? Resistance and resistivity, where resistance is more versatile and it can actually differentiate between a good conductor and a poor conductor, right? But resistance cannot. Resistance is object specific and resistivity is material specific. Anyways, so that topic was over. In this particular part of the chapter, we are going to study about combination of resistors. So you must have seen a string of bulbs which we use to decorate houses during Diwali. So all the bulbs are connected in series with each other. Each bulb acts as a resistor and each resistor is connected in series. So Diwali lightings is an example of combination of resistors in series. But if you take the example of the electrical circuit which is present in your house right now, it is an example of combination of resistors connected in parallel. So we have to study these two combination of resistors, series and parallel. And what are their uses? What are their characteristics? And how to calculate the equivalent resistance? Equivalent matlab total. How to calculate the equivalent or total resistance of the circuit in which the resistors are connected in series or parallel. So that's what we have to study in today's part. There's going to be a lot of numericals also, so this might be a little longer part, but since I could not upload a video in last couple of days, so this is worth it, right? We need to finish this chapter as soon as we can, so that we should start on the next topic and achieve some respectable target in the first 2 months, that is April and May. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's start with series, resistors in series. Okay, so the definition of resistors in series must be memorized. When a number of resistors are joined end to end, remember, when the numbers of resistors are joined end to end, I hope you have notebooks and pen ready in front of you, because whatever I am highlighting, you need to write with me. Okay, or you can pause the video and note it down, because you need to take notes. If you take notes, it will be easier for you to solve exercise and understand the concept for a longer time. Okay, so when a number of resistors are joined end to end so that the same current flows through each, the resistors are said to be connected in series. So when the number of resistors are connected in series, they look like this. First resistor, second resistor, third resistor. This is series, end to end, right? A, B, C, D. So there is just one path for the current to flow. If the current enters from here, the same current will leave from here. The current will not reduce. They told you the current does not reduce, but what happens between A and B due to the resistance? Due to the presence of resistance, potential difference drops across A and B. There is a potential drop or voltage drop which occurs across AB, BC and CD due to the presence of resistors. But the current flowing through each resistor will be the same. Like this, the arrangement like this is known as resistors in series. Okay. So this is how the diagram looks like. Now, can you tell me what is the current here? The current is I flowing through each resistor. What is the value of each resistor? R1, R2 and R3 ohms, right? You remember, right? The SI unit of resistor, resistance actually, not resistor. Resistor is a device, resistance is a quantity. So resistors have resistance. So the SI unit of resistance is ohm. So each resistor is of R1, R2 and R3 ohms respectively. So what is the potential difference or potential drop across the first resistor? See, what is the formula according to Ohm's law? What is the formula for R? R is equal to V upon I, right? So what will be V? V is equal to IR. Now here, if I take 2 points, please imagine this properly with me. If I take 2 points, let me take 2 points. One point is over here and one point is over here. I name this point as A, I name this point as B, and if I connect a voltmeter here, what will I see? The potential difference of the battery which I have is more than the potential difference which I get here. So that means the potential is dropping here, dropping due to the presence of resistor, right? Due to the presence of resistor, potential is dropping. Okay, so what will be this potential? Exactly this potential. This potential will be V1, and V1 is equal to IR1. V1 is equal to IR1. Remember that. Here they have written V1 is equal to IR1, which is the potential drop across R1. V2 is equal to IR2, similarly, potential drop across R2, and V3 is equal to IR3. Now, if you find the value of V1, V2 and V3 by attaching the voltmeter respectively at the junctions across R1, R2 and R3, you will find a very strange and very, you can say, amusing phenomena. The phenomena is the V, that is potential difference of the battery, is nothing but the sum of the potential drops across each resistor. V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. This is one very important characteristics of resistors in series. Very important characteristic. When the resistors are connected in series, the total potential difference of the battery is equal to sum of the individual potential drops across each resistor. Please remember this. Okay, now in the next step, what they have done here, they've just put the value of V1, V2, V3. What is V1? IR1, right? IR1. What is V2? IR2. What is V3? IR3. I has been taken out common, and R1 plus R2 plus R3 remains inside the bracket. Now what happens is, if you take I to the other side, so V upon I is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is the new equation. And what is V upon I? We just saw V upon I is R. So R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now this is the final formula. The equivalent resistors, the equivalent resistance of the three resistances is a single resistance which, when connected across the same potential difference, draws the same amount of current as done by the three resistors. That means that the total resistance of the circuit is equal to sum of three individual resistances. मतलब अगर तुम एक सर्किट में तीन रेजिस्टर, तीन बल्ब या तीन अप्लायंसेस को सीरीज में कनेक्ट करते हो, टोटल रेजिस्टेंस सर्किट का बढ़ जाता है, और वो कितना हो जाता है? इट इज इक्वल टू सम ऑफ द थ्री इंडिविजुअल रेजिस्टेंसेस. R1 plus R2 plus R3 is equal to R, which is the equivalent or total resistance of the circuit, right? So this is your final expression for resistances in series. जब resistors को series में connect करते हो, total resistance is sum of each individual resistances. Okay, so यहाँ पे कुछ कंक्लूजन लिखे हैं वो लोगों ने. जो इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस है RS, यहाँ पे लोग ने इसको डिनोट किया है RS से. इट इज ग्रेटर देन ईच इंडिविजुअल रेजिस्टेंस, R1 R2 R3 सबसे बड़ा रहेगा, ठीक है। और बस यही है। अगर आइडेंटिकल रेजिस्टेंसेस लगा दें हम लोग एक ही साइन में, एक ही साथ आइडेंटिकल सबका रेजिस्टेंस अगर R है तो टोटल रेजिस्टेंस कितना हो जाएगा 3R। अगर ऐसे n रेजिस्टेंस लगा दे तो टोटल रेजिस्टेंस कितना हो जाएगा NR, ठीक है। The potential difference across each different resistors is different. It is higher across resistance for which the value of R is more. मतलब यहाँ पे लोग बोल रहे हैं कि जितना ज्यादा R1 की वैल्यू उसके अक्रॉस पोटेंशियल ड्रॉप उतना ज्यादा। अगर R2 की वैल्यू सपोज कम है तो उसके अक्रॉस जो पोटेंशियल ड्रॉप है वो कम रहेगा। रेजिस्टर्स की वैल्यू जितनी ज्यादा पोटेंशियल ड्रॉप उतना ज्यादा, ठीक है। सो रिमेंबर दिस, प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस। तो ये था रेजिस्टर्स इन सीरीज। अब नेक्स्ट आते हैं रेजिस्टर्स इन पैरेलल। पैरेलल में कनेक्शन कुछ ऐसा होता है, तो ये दो जंक्शन है ए और बी, यहां से बैटरी से करंट फ्लो करना शुरू किया, करंट यहां पे पहुंचा आई, और यहां पे आई पे आते ही उसके सामने जंक्शन आ गया। अब वो करंट अपने हिसाब से डिवाइड हो जाएगा। किस हिसाब से डिवाइड होगा? व्हाट इज द बेसिस ऑन विच करंट विल गेट डिवाइडेड अक्रॉस दिस थ्री जंक्शंस? The current will be more in the resistor where the value of resistance is less. अगर R1 की वैल्यू कम है तो वहां पे ज्यादा करंट फ्लो करेगा, अगर R2 की वैल्यू ज्यादा है तो वहां पे कम करंट फ्लो करेगा। सो एट ऑन दिस बेसिस द करंट डिवाइड्स इटसेल्फ। करंट वहां पे ज्यादा जाता है जहां पे उसकी जरूरत ज्यादा है, वहां पे कम जाता है जहां पे उसकी जरूरत कम है। जहां पे उसको रास्ता मिलेगा करंट वहां पे ज्यादा फ्लो करेगा। अच्छा, व्हाट अबाउट द पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस? पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस अगर यहाँ पे हम लोग एक वोल्ट मीटर कनेक्ट करेंगे, वोल्ट मीटर यहाँ पे अगर मैंने कनेक्ट किया तो क्या होगा? वोल्ट मीटर जो वोल्टेज दिखाएगा अक्रॉस R1 R2 एंड R3 विल बी सेम एज द पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस अक्रॉस द all three resistors, that is potential difference of the battery। बैटरी का जो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस होगा वही पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस R1 R2 और R3 के अक्रॉस भी होगा, ठीक है। मतलब पैरेलल में एक बहुत ही अजीब चीज होती है। सीरीज में क्या होता था? पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस, potential drop across each resistor was different but current was same. Here current is different in each resistor but potential drop is same across each resistance which is equal to the potential difference of the battery। तो इस पे हम लोग ओम्स लॉ अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। ओम्स लॉ अप्लाई करके हमें क्या मिलेगा? सपोज हमें मिला था R इज इक्वल टू V अपॉन आई, तो यहां पे हमें मिलेगा I डिवाइड हो रहा है, राइट। तो I इज इक्वल टू V अपॉन आर लिख देंगे इसको। I1 इज इक्वल टू V अपॉन R1, वैसे ही I2 कितना हो जाएगा? V2 अपॉन R2, और I3 कितना हो जाएगा? V3, सॉरी V2 नहीं होगा, सिर्फ V रहेगा, V तो सेम है, मेरी गलती है यहाँ पे, ये हट गया, ठीक है। V अपॉन R3, तो मेरे पास I1 की वैल्यू है, I2 की वैल्यू है, I3 की वैल्यू, और मुझे ये पता है कि जो टोटल करंट है बैटरी में, आई एम सॉरी सर्किट में, इट इज सम ऑफ द करंट्स ऑफ सम ऑफ द करंट्स फ्लोइंग थ्रू ईच ऑफ द थ्री रेजिस्टर्स। तीनों रेजिस्टर्स में से जितना करंट फ्लो हो रहा है उनका सम करेंगे तो हमें टोटल करंट ऑफ द सर्किट मिल जाएगा। अब I की वैल्यू क्या है? I की वैल्यू है V बाय आर। I1 की वैल्यू V बाय R1 प्लस V बाय R2 प्लस V बाय R3। चलो इसको देखते हैं आगे वो लोग ने कैसे सॉल्व किया, राइट। ओम्स लॉ लोग ने अप्लाई किया है, I1 V बाय R1, I2 V बाय R2, I3 V बाय R3, और हमें पता है कि I इज इक्वल टू I1 प्लस I2 प्लस I3, सो I इज इक्वल टू V बाय R1 प्लस V बाय R2 प्लस V बाय R3। V को वो लोग ने कॉमन ले लिया है, 1 बाय R1 1 बाय R2 1 बाय I3 अंदर रहता है, और क्या किया है पता है? फिर वो लोग ने V को वो साइड शिफ्ट कर दिया। सो बेसिकली V को जब वो साइड शिफ्ट करेंगे I अपॉन V मिलेगा। I अपॉन V क्या है? सी वी अपॉन आई आर है, आई अपॉन वी क्या होता है 1 अपॉन आर. सो 1 अपॉन आर पी इज इक्वल टू 1 अपॉन आर वन प्लस 1 अपॉन आर टू प्लस 1 अपॉन आर थ्री मिलता है. सो इसका मतलब क्या है कि पैरेलल में जब हम लोग कोई भी तीन रेजिस्टर्स को कनेक्ट करेंगे, व्हाट विल हैपन, द इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस, द रेसिप्रोकल ऑफ द इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस, नॉट इक्विवेलेंट, इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस का रेसिप्रोकल क्या बन जाएगा, सम ऑफ द रेसिप्रोकल्स ऑफ ईच इंडिविजुअल रेजिस्टेंस, सम ऑफ द रेसिप्रोकल्स ऑफ ईच इंडिविजुअल रेजिस्टेंस. ठीक है. अब कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, उससे पहले कि वो लोग एक्सप्लेन करें मैं तुम्हें अलग से एक्सप्लेन करना चाहता हूँ. सपोज मेरे पास तीन रेजिस्टर्स हैं, 2 ओम, 5 ओम और 10 ओम. ये मेरे पास तीन रेजिस्टर्स R1, R2, R3. इनको अगर मैं सीरीज में कनेक्ट करूंगा तो इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस क्या होगा, कितना होगा, क्लियर है, R1 प्लस R2 प्लस R3, दैट इज 2 प्लस 5 प्लस 10, दैट इज 17 ओम. क्लियर है, बहुत क्लियर है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसमें, इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस आराम से ढूंढ लिया सीरीज का. बट अगर इनको मैं पैरेलल में कनेक्ट करूंगा तो मैं इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस कैसे निकालूंगा, आरपी. आरपी मुझे ढूंढना है. ठीक है. तो फॉर्मूला क्या है, रेसिप्रोकल ऑफ द इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस इज इक्वल टू सम ऑफ द रेसिप्रोकल्स ऑफ ईच इंडिविजुअल रेजिस्टेंसेस, सम ऑफ द रेसिप्रोकल्स, दैट इज 1 अपॉन R1 प्लस 1 अपॉन R2 प्लस 1 अपॉन R3 ऑफ ईच इंडिविजुअल रेजिस्टेंसेस. सो 1 अपॉन RP कितना हो जाएगा, 1 अपॉन 2 प्लस 1 अपॉन 5 प्लस 1 अपॉन 10. एलसीएम क्या है 10, राइट. सो 1 अपॉन RP कितना हो जाएगा, 5 प्लस 2 प्लस 1 अपॉन 10. ठीक है, दैट इज 8 अपॉन 10. ये हो जाएगा 1 अपॉन RP. ठीक है. देयरफॉर RP कितना हो जाएगा, इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस इन पैरेलल, RP ढूंढना है हमें, 1 अपॉन RP नहीं, RP हो जाएगा 10 अपॉन 8. सो 2 5 2 4 राइट, कितना हो जाएगा 5/4. और इसको अगर हम लोग पॉइंट्स में लाए तो कितना हो जाएगा ये 5 डिवाइडेड बाय 4, 4 1 4, फिर आएगा नीचे 1, फिर पॉइंट ले लेंगे 0, 4 2 8 एंड फिर आएगा 4 5 20, करेक्ट, 1.25 ओम. 5/4 इज 1.25 ओम. अब देखो तुम नोटिस करो एक चीज को, मेरे पास तीन रेजिस्टर थे, मैंने उनको सीरीज में कनेक्ट किया, आई गॉट टोटल रेजिस्टेंस 17 ओम. क्या ये सही है, सही तो है ये, बट क्या ये डिजायरेबल है, नहीं, क्योंकि रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ रहा है सर्किट का. तो दिवाली की लाइट्स में कुछ ऐसा ही सीन होता रहेगा, इसलिए दिवाली की लाइट्स गर्म हो जाती है, बिकॉज रेजिस्टेंस ज्यादा है ना, ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन ज्यादा है, मतलब हीट ज्यादा जनरेट होगी. ठीक है. अच्छा, what happens in your household circuit is this parallel combination. So when you connect your household appliances, the resistors, devices, bulbs in parallel, and you find the total resistance actually drops and becomes lesser than even the smallest of resistor. सबसे छोटा रेजिस्टर कितना था 2 ओम, उससे भी कम हो गया टोटल रेजिस्टेंस 1.25 ओम. सो ये फायदा है इसमें पैरेलल में कनेक्ट करने में, फायदा ये है कि टोटल रेजिस्टेंस कम होने से सर्किट में करंट ज्यादा फ्लो होता है और हर एक अप्लायंस को उतना ही वोल्टेज मिलता है जितना बैटरी का या सोर्स का वोल्टेज है. तुमने ये चीज देखी, नोटिस की, वोल्टेज बहुत जरूरी है, वोल्टेज कॉज है, पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस है, कॉज है, पोटेंशियल. यहां पे सबको सेम पोटेंशियल मिल रहा है, वो पोटेंशियल किसका है, बैटरी का. मतलब सबको बैटरी से जितना जरूरी है उतना करंट सप्लाई किया जा रहा है. लेकिन सीरीज में क्या हो रहा था, सीरीज में सबके अक्रॉस ये वोल्टेज डिवाइड हो रहा था. मतलब सब लोग अपनी फुल कैपेसिटी पे, सारे अप्लायंस R1 R2 R3 बल्ब या जो भी बोलो, वो अपनी फुल कैपेसिटी पे काम नहीं कर पाएंगे. दे विल नॉट बी एबल टू वर्क एट देयर फुल कैपेसिटी बिकॉज द वोल्टेज of the battery gets divided amongst them. but in parallel the voltage does not get divided. Full voltage is available to each and every appliance. Also, the resistance, equivalent resistance in parallel is less than even the smallest of the resistance connected in parallel. So that's why in our household circuit we use parallel circuit. We prefer parallel circuit. Now there are more reasons given here. We will just go through them so that this concept becomes much more clearer in our minds. Okay. What is the major disadvantage of series connection? If one electrical appliance or component fails, the circuit is broken and no component will work. तुम ही सोचो ना, एक ही लाइन में मैंने 3, 4, 5, 6 बल्ब कनेक्ट कर दिए. अगर एक भी बल्ब खराब हो जाता है तो खत्म, करंट आगे ही नहीं बढ़ेगा. ठीक है. बट पैरेलल में क्या होता है? इफ वन कंपोनेंट फेल्स, द अदर कंपोनेंट विल नॉट बी अफेक्टेड. तुम बोलोगे सर ये कैसे होता है? मैं बोलूंगा देखो यहां पे, अगर सपोज ये कंपोनेंट खराब हो गया, I2 तो फिर भी फ्लो होगा ना, क्योंकि I1 यहां पे नहीं जा पाएगा, बट I2 और I3 को फ्लो होने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता. सो पैरेलल में अगर एक कंपोनेंट खराब भी हो जाता है, एक अप्लायंस वर्क नहीं भी करता है, तो दूसरे अप्लायंस को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. दूसरा, ईच कंपोनेंट गेट्स रिक्वायर्ड करंट एज द करंट डिवाइड्स अप्रोप्रिएटली इन पैरेलल कॉम्बिनेशन. ये मैंने तुम्हें बताया. एंड ईच कंपोनेंट कैन बी स्विच्ड ऑन और ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंटली. तुम दिवाली की लाइट्स में देखो, एक ही स्विच होती है. एक स्विच ऑफ किया सब बल्ब बंद, एक स्विच ऑन किया सब बल्ब चालू. तुम्हारे घर पे ऐसा होता है? जस्ट इमेजिन ऐसा होता तो क्या होता. ठीक है. तुम नहा के बाथरूम से बाहर निकलते और लाइट बंद करते और पूरे घर की लाइट चली जाती. जस्ट इमेजिन. ठीक है. रात को कोई एक स्विच बंद करता, फैन वैन सब बंद हो जाता, एसी सब बंद हो जाता. बट ऐसा नहीं होता है क्योंकि हमारे घर पे पैरेलल कनेक्शन है. राइट. सो ईच अप्लायंस हैज इट्स ओन सेपरेट इंडिविजुअल स्विचेस. तो इनको हम लोग इंडिविजुअली ऑपरेट कर सकते हैं. कोई अप्लायंस खराब हो गया तो उसको अलग से हम लोग रिपेयर कर सकते हैं. बाकी अप्लायंसेस पे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. वो पैरेलल कनेक्शन और उनकी जो डिजाइन है उसकी वजह से. इसके लिए हाउस होल्ड सर्किट में हम लोग इलेक्ट्रिकल कंपोनेंट्स को पैरेलल में लगाते हैं. ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है. ठीक है. तो हमने ये स्टडी किया है. अब यहाँ पे देख लो जरा, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज बताई है. यहाँ पे बहुत सारी बुक्स में इतना अच्छे से नहीं बताते. ये जो बुक मुझे मिली है, ये किंडल पे मैंने खरीदी है बुक. इस बुक का नाम क्या है मैं तुम्हें बताऊंगा बाद में. तो ये बुक इतनी अच्छी है कि इसमें इतनी सारी डिटेल्स है जो एस चांद में 10 साल से पढ़ा के थक चुका हूँ. है वो अच्छी बुक है. एस चांद इज अ वेरी गुड बुक, नो डाउट अबाउट इट. लेकिन कुछ चीजें थोड़ा सा पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज होना चाहिए आदमी का. एक ही एक घिसा पिटा पर्सपेक्टिव जो देखता रहेगा ना, तो तुम्हारी इंटेलिजेंस फिर ग्रो नहीं करेगी. तो मैंने अपने और तुम्हारे लिए ये बुक नई बुक से स्टार्ट किया पढ़ा. राइट. ये देखो, यहां पे ए और बी के बीच में से ट्राइंगल जैसा बना है. इसमें जो वायर दिख रहे हो ये वाला, तुम्हें दिख रहा है कि यहाँ पे ये ऐसा ट्राइंगल लगा है, तो इसमें क्या फर्क होगा? अरे तुम इसको ट्राइंगल में रखो, या फिर सेम वायर को रेक्टेंगल शेप दे दो, या ट्रेपेजियम शेप दे दो, या फिर नीचे की तरफ ऐसा रेक्टेंगुलर शेप बना दो. और ये जो रेजिस्टर्स है इनको ऐसा आमने सामने रखो, या आजू बाजू में रखो, या एक साथ रखो. ये रहेंगे तो सीरीज में ही. मतलब ये 3 और ये 7 सीरीज में ही है. ये सारे, ये एक ही डिजाइन है. ये सारी सर्किट एक है. मतलब by changing the angles of connecting wire the circuit does not change. ये जो कनेक्टिंग वायर है एक्चुअली जंक्शन किधर है? सिर्फ यहाँ पे. जंक्शन के अराउंड कनेक्टिंग वायर का कोई भी शेप दे दो तुम, वो सर्किट को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ये सारी सर्किट एक ही है. 3 और 7 सीरीज में है, और 3 और 7 का जो इक्विवेलेंट है वो 2 के साथ पैरेलल में. जो मैंने बोला समझ में आया क्या तुमको? 3 और 7 सीरीज में है, और 3 और 7 का इक्विवेलेंट रेजिस्टेंस क्या है? 10 ओम. वो 10 ओम 2 ओम के साथ पैरेलल में कनेक्टेड है. राइट. ब्यूटी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. अब मिसकंसेप्शन देखो यहाँ पे. तुमको लगेगा कि तीनों पैरेलल में, क्योंकि एक के नीचे एक है. नहीं, लेकिन ये सीरीज में है, क्योंकि पाथ देखो एक ही है पाथ करंट को फ्लो करने के लिए. अच्छा, सेकंड वाला कंसेप्शन देखो. R1 और R3 पैरेलल में है। एक्चुअली R1 और R3 पैरेलल में नहीं है, R1 और R2 का जो कॉम्बिनेशन है, सपोज उसको R4 बोलेंगे, वो R4 R3 के साथ पैरेलल में है। ठीक है, चलो शुरू हो चुके हैं एग्जांपल्स। लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ सॉल्व्ड एग्जांपल्स। Okay, so what is the diagram? This is the diagram. We have to find the equivalent resistance between points A and point B. Okay, let's give some name to this resistors. This is R1, R2 and R3. Now R2 and R3 are in parallel, and R2 and R3's parallel combination is in series with R1. So what we'll do is first we'll try to convert R2 and R3 into a single resistor, right? Let's do it. So 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. So 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon 4 plus 1 upon 6. The LCM of 4 and 6, 12. So 1 upon Rp is equal to 3 plus 2 by 12. That is 5 by 12. And therefore Rp is equal to 12 by 5. So 12 by 5 is 2.4 ohm. So we have got Rp. Rp is the equivalent resistance of R2 and R3. So now we can replace R2 and R3 and we can draw a single resistance of 2.4 ohms in series with R1. So it will look like this. Right? This is R1 and this is Rp. Okay, Rp we found out. R1 is 2 ohm and this is 2.4 ohm. Now the equivalent resistance Re is R1 plus Rp. I can write Rs also, no problem. I'm writing Re because E means equivalent, total. 2 plus 2.4, which is 4.4 ohms. 4.4 ohms. So that is the total resistance of the circuit between A and B, across A and B. Right? That's what they have done. So I've explained in much more simpler way with steps and got the same answer. I hope you understood how to solve this. Right? They have done the same thing. Let's do the next question. Okay, here B is over here. Okay, what is the equivalent resistance between A and B? Let us give these resistors name R1, R2 and R3. Now see, R1 and R2 are in series and the combination of R1 and R2 is in parallel with R3. Okay, so let's find Rs, which is R1 plus R2, which is 2 plus 2, which is 4 ohm. So we found Rs, and 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon Rs plus 1 upon R3, right? 1 upon Rs is 1 upon 4, 1 upon R3 is 1 upon 2. What is the LCM of 4 and 2? 4. 4 ones are 2 twos are. So 1 plus 2 by 4, that is 3 by 4. So therefore, what is Rp? Rp is equal to 4 by 3. 4 by 3 means 4 by 3 is I think 1.3 ohms. 1.3 ohms. So that is the equivalent resistance between A and B. Right? So they have converted this into this and this into parallel 4 by 3 ohms. Simple. They've left it as 4 by 3. You can also leave it like that, but it's better to convert into decimal points. Correct. So my method was absolutely correct here. Please note it down, solve it with me. If you want, you can solve it by pausing the question when I'm reading it and then match the answer with the solution which I'm giving you. Okay, please solve with me. You will get confidence and less doubts in final homework. Hey, there is a small topic over here. Cells in series. You know, cells are also connected in series. So if two cells are connected in series, their voltage automatically gets added. If three cells are connected, their voltage also gets added. Very simple it is, right? They have used one term for voltage here, EMF. This EMF is not in your syllabus officially, but you should know that it is known as electromotive force. Electromotive force, which is nothing but potential difference or voltage. Find the resistance of a nichrome wire of length 1 meter. Okay, so they have given the length of nichrome wire 1 meter and area of cross section 2 millimeter square. Okay, so area of cross section is 2 millimeter square. Can we convert millimeter square into meter square? And the resistivity is also given. Resistivity is 100 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. What we have to find? Resistance. So let's convert the area from millimeter square to meter square. So let's write this. King Henry died, mother didn't cry much. How many of you know this? So this is kilo, hecto, deca, meter, deci, centi and milli. You have to convert from millimeter square to meter square. Now millimeter to meter is 1 step, 2 step and 3 step. Okay, so millimeter to meter, what you have to do? You have to divide by 1000. Why divide? Because you are converting from smaller quantity to bigger quantity. Why by 1000? Because you are going 3 step up, right? So what if you want to convert from millimeter square to meter square? You will divide by 1000 square. Okay, now divide by 1000 square is nothing but divide by 10 raised to 3 square or divide by 10 raised to 6 or simply multiplying by 10 raised to minus 6. It's the same thing. So if you want to convert from millimeter square to meter square, you just multiply by 10 raised to minus 6. How do we write it? So length is 1 meter, area is 2 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter square. We have to find the resistance. You remember the formula? Rho is equal to RA by L. So the formula becomes R is equal to rho L by A. Put the values 100 into 10 raised to minus 6 into length 1 meter upon area is 2 into 10 raised to minus 6. 10 raised to minus 6, 10 raised to minus 6 cut and 100 by 2, it is 50 ohm. That is the resistance. Resistance of nichrome wire is 50 ohm. Now, without conversion, this question would have become really, really difficult. But with conversion, this has become really easy. So always remember to check the units of length, of area, of resistivity also, and of ohm, of resistance also. They all should be in the SI units. If they are all in SI units, then calculation can be taken further. You can put the values in the formula and get the answer. Simple calculations will help you like this. Let's check if the answer is correct. 50 ohm, it is absolutely correct. Okay, next is find the resistance of a nichrome wire of length 2 meter and area of cross section 2 millimeter square. Okay, same thing, just length they have made 2. Area of cross section is same. resistivity is same, right? You have to find the resistance. Can you pause the video and try this? Just like the previous question. Pause the video and try it, please. There are many people who don't pause the video, who don't try it. They're just looking at the screen like idiot. They will just stop it and go to sleep or do their homework without just caring. Don't do this, please. When I'm telling you to try it, please try it. Otherwise, there is no point of doing all this. Okay, I hope you have tried it. So I'll just show you the previous question where the question was same, only the length was 1 meter. So here in the numerator that there would be 2. So the answer would be 100 ohm. Right? Let's check if the answer is 100 ohm. Yes, the answer is 100 ohm. So you notice what happened? What happened is if the length is doubled, area and resistivity of the material remaining the same. Here area and resistivity was the same, only the length was doubled from the previous question. R becomes double. R becomes 2 times. Previously resistance was 50 ohm. Here the resistance has become 100 ohm. So they have shown that if the length is doubled, what happens is resistance also get doubles. Now see what is happening over here. Find the resistance of a nichrome wire of length 1 meter and area of cross section 4 millimeter square. Here the area of cross section has become doubled. Before the area of cross section was 2, now it has become 4. So now we know, we can actually without doing calculation we can find the answer. Resistivity is same, length is same. See, if the thickness of or area of cross section doubles, the resistance becomes half. So remember the first example. In the first example, this one, the area of cross section was 2 millimeter square. Same other values, length and resistivity same, and the resistance was 50. Now the area of cross section has become 4, so resistance will become half. That is, it will become 25. You want to check? You want to check whether it is 25 or you want to calculate? If you want to calculate, pause the video now and calculate. The resistance will be 25. If area doubles, resistance become half. If length doubles, resistance become double. That is what we have learned about the relationship between length, the factors affecting the resistance. 25 is the answer, 25 ohm. Let's check. Yes, if area of cross section becomes twice, the resistance become half. Okay, find the resistance of a copper wire of length 1 meter and area of cross section 2 millimeter square. Specific resistance of copper is 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. See, they have given you the length. Okay, so I will write here length 1 meter, area of cross section 2 millimeter square, which we can directly write now as 2 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter square, and rho resistivity 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. Right? Now you can use the formula of resistance. You know the formula of resistance, right? Put the values and get the answer. Pause the video, put the values and get the answer. Okay, for those who have tried it, I'm trying for you right now. So the formula is rho is equal to RA by L. Therefore, R is equal to rho L by A. So what is rho L? Rho is 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 8 into L is 1 and A is 2 into 10 raised to minus 6. So we can write it as 1.7 upon 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 into 10 raised to 6. Okay. 1.7 by 2. What is 1.7 by 2? It is 1.7 by 2, right? 0.85. Yes, it is 0.85. 0.85 into what is, see this 10 raised to minus 6, it went in the numerator and became 10 raised to plus 6. Now the powers will get added. Remember exponents, indices. Minus 8 plus 6 is minus 2, 10 raised to minus 2. Now convert this into standard scientific form. It will become 8.5 because there should be a number on the right side, sorry, left side of the decimal point. There should not be 0, there should be a number, significant digit, 8. Okay, so if I'm shifting the decimal one place to the right side, I have to subtract one number from the denominator. So this will become 10 raised to minus 3. 10 raised to minus 3 what? Ohm. 8.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 ohm. Can we check this? Yes. 0.85 into 10 raised to minus 2 or 0.0085. This resistance is very small as compared to nichrome wire. Therefore, copper is used for connecting wires and nichrome is used where high resistance is required. Right? So the concept of resistance should become more clearer with the help of these examples. Also the calculation part. Find the resistance of an ebonite rod of length 1 meter and area of cross section 2 millimeter square. The resistivity of ebonite is 10 raised to 16 ohm meter. The resistance would be very, very high. If you want, put the values and check the answer. Check the answer, come on. Pause the video, put the values, check the answer. Find the resistance. I hope you are done. Let's check the answer. The resistance is 0.5 into 10 raised to 22 ohm meter. This value is extremely high and current cannot pass through it. Therefore, ebonite is used at those places where electrical insulation is required because ebonite has high resistance. You have a resistance of 5 ohm. You cut it into 4 equal parts. Suppose you have a wire and the resistance of this wire is 5 ohm. Now you cut it into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the same wire. What is the resistance of each part? Now see, the length of each part has become 1/4 of the total length, right? So if the length becomes 1/4, the resistance also becomes 1/4. So the resistance of each part will be 5/4, right? 5/4 ohm. Let's check. Yes, 5/4. Since resistance is directly proportional to the length, hence the resistance of each part will become 1/4 the resistance of whole wire. The length of wire is doubled by pulling it. Find the new resistance. Very nice question. Please pay attention on this. Okay, suppose I have a wire. Okay. The resistance of this wire, okay, the length of this wire is, let's say, the length of this wire is L. Resistance of this wire is R. Area of cross section becomes, is A. What happens when you pull it and stretch it and when you make it double the length? It becomes thinner, right? Now what is the length? The length becomes 2L. What is the resistance? We don't know. What is the area of cross section now? See, when you pull a wire, it becomes very, very thin. So the area becomes half the original value. So remember, the area becomes half and the length becomes double. So the resistance, how will the resistance change? So new resistance. See, since the length is doubling, the resistance will become double. And since the area is getting halved, one second, since the length is doubling, the resistance will become double. And since the area is becoming half, the resistance further go on becoming double. So the new resistance will be 4 times the original resistance. So if you double the length of a wire by pulling it, the new resistance will be 4 times the original resistance. That is what my understanding says. See how they have written it. The answer is 4R, right? But see what they have written. When length of a conductor is changed by pulling it, the area of cross section will be changed, but the volume will remain the same. So if this is the original case, this is the final case, then the resistance becomes 4R. Very nice way to write it. If you want to write this method, please pause the video and write it. Okay. Next, what is the current flowing in the resistor shown in the given figure? Hey, it's very easy. Why they are giving you so easy questions? All right. So V is equal to IR, or I is equal to V by R. So what is V? I'm using Ohm's law, of course. V is 5 volt and R is 5 ohm. So current will be 1 ampere. That's so easy, man. 1 ampere. Okay, next question. What is the reading in the ampere in the given figure? They are asking you the current. Okay, here remember there is a junction, but there is no other place to go. So it will be only a single path for current to flow. So what is the total resistance? RS. Total resistance will be R1 plus R2. That is 2.5 plus 2.5. That is 5 ohm. Okay, what is the voltage? 5 volt. So what is the current? We just did this. If the resistance is 5 ohm and if the voltage is 5 volt, then the current will be 1 ampere. I is equal to V by R. 5 by 5, 1 ampere. Same thing. Correct? In the previous question and this question, the current is same because total resistance is same. So whether it is two resistance of 2.5 ohm each or one resistance of 5 ohm, the current will be same because total resistance is the same. What is the reading in ammeter in the given figure? Now see, here the same thing as the previous question, but the resistance has become double. Now the total resistance is 10 ohm. So if the resistance becomes double, the current becomes half. So here, even if you don't calculate, I can tell you the value of the current. 0.5 ampere. This will be the value of current. If you want to calculate, see, V is equal to IR or I is equal to V by R, that is 5 by 10, that is 0.5 ampere. Correct? So current drawn from a battery is reduced to half as compared to previous problem because the resistance has been doubled. So अगर किसी बैटरी में रेजिस्टेंस को डबल कर दोगे तो करंट हाफ हो जाएगा. Find the current through R1 and R2 and also the total current drawn by the battery. बहुत अच्छा question है. See, one thing you should note here that between A and B there is parallel combination. So in this parallel combination, one thing will be sure. What will happen here? Here there will be a potential drop. This potential drop will be equal to the potential of the battery. So this will be equal to 5 volt. This thing is clear. Okay, now let's find the equivalent resistance of the circuit. So equivalent resistance is Rp. Let's find Rp. 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So 1 upon Rp is equal to 2 by 5. So Rp is equal to 5 by 2, which is equal to 2.5 ohm. 2.5 ohm. This is the equivalent resistance in parallel. Okay. Now we found the equivalent resistance. We know the voltage also. Voltage is 5 volts. So we can find the current. V is equal to IR. So I, the total current. Okay. Let's find the total current first. Hey, why not the individual currents? V is equal to IR. Therefore, V is equal to I1 R1. We can use this formula, na? V will be same, right? V will be 5. I1 we don't know. What is R1? 5. Therefore, I1 will be 1 ampere, right? And V will be equal to R2, I2, R2 also. I2 we don't know. R2 is 5 and V is 5. Therefore, I2 will also be equal to 1 ampere. And what will be the total current in the circuit? I1 plus I2. That is 1 plus 1. That is 2 ampere. Easy. So we found the total current through R1, 1 ampere, R2, 1 ampere, and total current of the circuit, that is 2 ampere. Now see few notes they have given here which are very important according to me. They have explained the concept with the help of numericals, which is very important, which I didn't see in S-Chan. So current drawn from the battery is 2 ampere, right? Because equivalent resistance across the battery is 2.5 ohm. Okay, the current drawn from a battery is not fixed. It depends on total resistance across it. So if resistance is less, current will be more. Acha, I1 and I2 are equal in magnitude. Why is I1 and I2 equal in magnitude? Because R1 and R2 are equal in magnitude. So since both the resistors here, they are of equal value, they will draw equal current. If some resistance is higher, then it will draw less current. If some resistance is lower, then it will draw more current. Depending upon its requirement, it will draw current. Okay, next question. We just did this. Next question. Find I1, I2 and I in the given figure. The same thing, same question. Now we can do it orally. Okay, now see. The total current, we cannot do it orally. We have to find RP. Without RP, it will become very difficult. No, we can do it without it because we can take the equivalent, sorry, the potential drop across them as 5 volt. So here the current will be in R1, that is value of I1, current through R1. It will be equal to I1 is equal to, see, V is equal to IR. So I is equal to V by R. V is 5 volt, R is 5. So current through first resistor or I1 will be 1 ampere. What will be I2? I2 will be V by R. V by R2. V by R2 means what is V? 5. What is R2? R2 is 2.5. So if you see, this will be 2 ampere. So you saw this? Resistor was 2.5 ohm and it drew a current of 2 ampere. It got more current. Resistor was 5 ampere and it got less current from the same battery. So that's the case. Total current will be 3 ampere. Correct? Find I1, I2 and I and the reading of voltmeter in the given figure. Very nice question actually. Let's find it. Okay, here remember this. We can find the value of I1 and I2. First, let's find the value of I1. If you imagine a voltmeter connected here across AB, the value of reading of this voltmeter will be equal to 5 volt. Okay, so we'll take potential difference across R1 and R2 as 5 volt. Equivalent resistance of R1 and R2 is R1 plus R2 because both are connected in series, and that is 5 plus 5, and that is 10 ohms. So we know the equivalent resistance, we know the voltage, we don't know I, right? So we know that V is equal to IR, so I is equal to V by R. V is 5, R is 10, I will be, or I1 will be 0.5 ampere. So through R1 and R2 both 0.5 ampere will flow. What about I2? I2 is equal to V upon R2. Here I will write RE, okay? So V upon R2. What is V? 5. What is R2? 5. Sorry, that is R3. I'm extremely sorry. This is R3, okay? And we are finding I2. So I2 will be, I2 is this current which is flowing here. It is 1 ampere. So what is the total current? Total current will be I1 plus I2. This is 1.5. So I is equal to I1 plus I2, which is 1 plus 0.5, 1.5 ampere. They are also asking you about the value of this small potential, small voltmeter. Okay, so we can easily find it out. We know the current through R2. Current through R2 is how much? 0.5 ampere. I1, right? So if you want to find the value of that potential reading of that voltmeter, then it will be equal to V is equal to IR. I's value will be taking as I1 and R's value will be R2. I1 is 0.5, R2 is 5, so this will be 2.5 volt, right? 2.5 volt. Okay, so I1, I2, I and V, everything we have got. I1 is 0.5, I2 is 1 ampere, I is 1.5 and V is 2.5. Okay, so they have simplified this, right? 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2.5. Find the current drawn by the battery and the potential difference between A and B. You have to solve it. Please pause the video and solve it yourself. This is the 14th example and I cannot solve each and every question for you. Please solve it. Pause the video and solve it, please. Okay, let's go ahead. Then you've solved it. Check it. Total resistance 8.33, current 0.6, and potential difference between AB or across AB is approximately 2 volt. I hope your answers are correct. If not, please look at the method. Next, find total resistance of the total resistance of the circuit, total current drawn from the battery, and potential difference between B and C. Very nice question actually. First, you have to add 5 and 10. So make it 15 like this. Then add 10 and 5. Again make it 15. Right? And join it with the help of a circuit and give it a battery or whatever. The battery is 12 volt. Correct? Now find the equivalent of these two also. So 1 by 15 plus 1 by 15 is equal to 1 by Rp. You can find Rp and then you can find the value of I. Total resistance you have got, total current you have got. Potential difference across B and C, you can find it. See, B is here and C is over here. So if you want to find the potential difference, you know the current across. You can find the current across BC. And then you know the value of R2. You can very well find the potential difference. This is like many questions which we have done. Please pause the video and solve the whole thing. Solve the whole thing, please. Okay, I'm sure you're done. Okay, so they have done exactly the same thing which I told you. Total resistance became 7.5, total current became 1.6, and potential difference they have found it to be 8 volt. Right? Okay, so this question is about internal resistance, which is not part of your syllabus. I'm just going to zoom past it. Okay, how many questions are there? Because I'm just going on. Okay, that's the last question. I think the chapter is going to end very soon. Last question. For the circuit shown in the diagram, calculate the value of current through each resistor I1, I2, I3. You want me to show you where is I1, I2, I3? See, this is I1, this is I2, this is I3. So, and this is I gets divided into I1, I2, I3. Okay, so this is the total voltage of the battery. You have to find the value of current through each resistor. That is I1, I2, I3. Total current in the circuit, that is I1 plus I2 plus I3, and total effective resistance of the circuit. Now what would I do is, I would imagine a voltmeter to be over here. The reading of this voltmeter would be 6 volt, of course, because this is a parallel connection. In parallel connection, the voltage across each resistor is equal to the voltage of the battery. So I know the voltage and I know the resistors R1, R2 and R3. So I can easily find I1, I2, I3. And I can add them and find I. And then I can find 1 upon Rp. Sorry, Rp as 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Simple. Correct? So I'm sure that you will be able to crack this. Please pause the video and do it. Draw the diagram properly. Pause the video, solve it, get the answer. Okay, let's check. I1, I2, I3. Total current. And the parallel combination of them. 3 ohm. Right, so we are done with a huge part. And this is just the last part, I think. And oh yeah, there's electric power also. And watt. Okay. Last part has many things to offer. So we'll do it in the next video. This video has become considerably large, and it was good. It's good. It was very nice, right? So I'll give you the homework via the app. Please finish it as soon as you can. All right. See you later. Bye bye.